Mhm.
If I see further from where I am, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. There is a quote by Isaac Newton. I think the meaning is kind of obvious. You are where you are because of the work past others in the past have done for you. They've put in you a bit ahead. They've done some of the work so that you can succeed, so that you can go further beyond. This has been especially true for my family and me. Um, our grandfather came from nearly nothing, and he worked a lot. He started working since he was 17 years old. Uh, and then when he got married to my grandmother, he worked even harder. He had to work to feed 10 children on on the salary, and then he worked with my great grandfather, his father. Then my great grandfather fired him, disoccupied him to make space for his younger brother to work. So my grandfather was unemployed. He had to feed 10 children. He wanted to give all of them a good education. So basically, he worked himself to the bone. He was lucky that my grandfather gave him access to the ranch, to the farm, and he was able to hunt on the weekends to be able to provide meat to the family, because he could only afford to give rice and potatoes for a while. He started a business that failed. He started a workshop that failed, but eventually he managed to start a successful business that was Muebles Pinos Torres. And from there, he managed to be able to buy some property to be able to rent. He started being able to breathe a little. He started to be able to relax a bit now that the income was stable. My grandfather never had free time. According to my father, grandfather never had any free time to spend with his children, to be able to teach them a lot. That fell on the school, and anytime my grandfather was able to take them to work with him. My grandfather, he was the giant a lot of my family stand on. He was basically a malnourished giant, a stick figure that from where my grandfather and my uncles managed to expand the business, make it grow even further. My grandfather, in next month he'll be 96 years old. He's lived a long life. He's broken his hip twice. He had cancer. He had pancreatic cancer and beat it. My grandfather, honestly, is quite great. He has a lot of stories to tell, and now due to his age, he kind of gets confused a bit and repeats the same 5 stories over and over. He tells me of the business of his chicken farm and how great it was able to sell eggs, because they could eat the eggs and he could also sell them for more money. My grandfather tells me of hunting, about how he was able to track the deer in the ranch to be able to slaughter it and get meat for my uncles and aunts. And finally, he tells me how happy he was when my uncles and aunts managed to go to work with him. They would go sell the eggs at a street market. He would have them work on some furniture and try to teach them what he knew. Almost all of my family knows woodworking, thanks to my grandfather. Whenever they were out of school and finished with their homework, they would go to the shop and start making furniture, start helping with that. And honestly, it's just about hard work and hard working. I mean, you really can accomplish a lot of things if you want to do it, and if you're hardworking enough, and perhaps clever or intelligent enough to do it. You also need a bit of luck, but in the end, if you try to well, work, you'll eventually be able to accomplish your goals. Thank you.